Good afternoon. My name is Delaney West. I am the Global Master Educator for Repêchage, and I would like to thank you for spending some time with me this afternoon to learn all about our Repêchage Seasmooth Artisan Waxing Ritual. We're going to go over the ritual itself, but before we do that, we're going to talk about the origins of hair removal and also key products, key ingredients, contraindications, contraindicated medications, everything we need to know about successfully providing waxing services for our clients. I would like to say hello to our global guests as well, because I know it's afternoon here on the East Coast. It's morning on the West Coast, so good morning to those of you coming from the West Coast, and also good evening to those of you who are coming from across the pond. So let's go ahead and get started, and we will cover everything you need to know. I would, however, like to get a few housekeeping things out of the way, At the end of the presentation, we will have time for questions and answers. I would appreciate it if you could hold your questions, jot them down, hold them for me, and at the end we'll have a period for question and answers. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to talk all about the Repêchage wax and what is what are the differences and what makes our wax so spectacular. But first we're going to talk about the origins of hair removal. Ancient Egypt, this was the first documented hair removal that we could find. Egyptian women really paved the way for modern waxing. At 60 BC, they started removing hair via a process called sugaring. And sugaring is a hair removal method similar to waxing that uses a homemade sugar-based solution to entangle and strip hair away. It's still used today as a natural alternative to wax. The Roman Empire. During Roman times, the lack of body hair was considered a sign of the upper class. Wealthy women and wealthy men used razors that were fashioned from flints, tweezers, creams, and stones to remove excess hair. In the Middle Ages, Queen Elizabeth I set the precedence for hair removal amongst women who followed her lead. The fashion at this era was to completely remove the eyebrows and to raise the hairline on the forehead to make it appear larger. In the 1960s, this is when modern forms of waxing really started to come into play. Wax strips made their debut in the early 60s and quickly became the method of choice for removing unwanted hair under the arms and on the legs and anywhere else they used the wax strips. The first laser hair removal method hit the market in the mid-60s, but because it was so damaging to the skin around the hair and underneath the hair, it was quickly abandoned because it was so damaging to the skin. Right, we've all seen the whole Kelly Clarkson thing from that movie. It was amusing, but it really did kind of show that men in the 1990s were really coming onto the waxing circuit. It became more and more popular in the 90s. Men were opting for both facial waxing, so turning an eyebrow into eyebrows, nose, ears, things like that, and definitely starting to do body waxing services as well. Most women today rely on some form of hair removal in their daily beauty routine. Waxing bars are big. Eyebrow threading studios have really grown. Electrolysis centers have grown and are at an all-time high, and they are continuing to rise. So here's a graph of the structure of the hair. This is something that we really need to learn and focus on. It shows us where the hair shaft is. It shows us the hair follicle, where the root of the hair is, where the bulb of the hair is, where it's connected to the blood vessels and the papilla, the sebaceous gland. The sebaceous gland we talked about last month in the hydrometic webinar because it is positioned right along the hair opening for the hair follicle, and it creates lots of issues on the acne on the acne side of what's going on. But this is an anatomically correct graph of the structure of the hair, and you really need to remember when we're moving on through the webinar the way that this looks, because we are going to apply the wax in the direction of the hair growth and then remove it against the grain. And we'll talk a little bit more about that a few slides from now. So the hair growth stages are the following. The anagen stage, it's active growth phase that lasts 2 to 6 weeks. The catagen stage is the transition phase, which lasts 1 to 2 weeks. And that's where the papilla starts to separate from the hair follicle itself, and the hair follicle starts to move toward the surface of the skin. Then we go into the telogen phase, and that's the resting phase that lasts about 5 to 6 weeks. And this is when the hair completely leaves the hair the hair follicle, and the hair will fall out. New hair is forming in the matrix, and then you're going to return to the anagen stage. So the 3 stages of hair growth are anagen, catagen, and telogen. Let's talk about some facts. Hair grows faster in the summer, and that's the time of the year that we don't want it to grow fast, right? So of course that's when it's going to grow faster. The number of telogen hairs is larger during illness due to the stress that illness causes on the body. And that is why when you have patients that are undergoing any kind of chemotherapy, that's why the hair falls. The stress on the body from the chemotherapy and the fighting of the cancer really puts a lot of emphasis on stress and what continues to happen inside the body from that. The highest percentage of anagen hairs are found on the scalp, of course, cheeks, chin, and lip areas. The cheeks, the chin, and the lip, we don't really want to deal with the anagen hair, but that's where they're found, the highest percentages. Electrolysis. This is the use of a direct current or direct electric current to destroy the hair. It actually destroys the papilla so that the hair can no longer grow. The pros for electrolysis, it's really currently the only proven method of permanent hair removal. It can be performed on all parts of the body and on all hair types and skin colors. Cons. It can be expensive. Long process of multiple sessions to be able to successfully go with electrolysis. Electrolysis can be done anywhere on the body. Anywhere there's hair, electrolysis can be done. So it can be expensive, but it is the only proven permanent hair removal method. Laser hair removal. This is utilizing a laser beam at a specific wavelength to damage the target tissue while allowing the skin around it to remain untouched. The pros for laser hair removal, you get long-lasting hair removal. It is much faster than electrolysis. The regrowth of the hair is finer and lighter. Some of the cons for laser hair removal, however, is that it's not effective on light hair. So blonde hair, it's really not effective on. What happens with laser is that the laser itself targets pigmented tissue or pigmented hair. Okay, so if the hair has no pigment, if it's blonde or white, silver, non-pigmented, it's going to go right over it. It's not going to fire on that pigment. It can be expensive, and it will require multiple sessions as well. It is very ineffective on dark or tanned skin. If the skin is dark and the hair is dark, the laser cannot differentiate what is skin and what is hair. So it won't fire unless it can really differentiate the two. So really your best candidate for laser hair removal are going to be your Fitzpatrick's 1s, 2s, and 3s with dark hair that needs to be removed. Really, those are the optimal clients for laser hair removal. We're going to talk about protecting ourselves. We're going to talk about protecting our clients, what's important, how we are going to effectively protect ourselves and our clients as well. So we want to protect the client from ingrown hairs. We definitely want to protect ourselves and our clients from hepatitis B, bacterial infections, herpes simplex infections. Those are viral. So viral and bacterial infections can be quite common in waxing studios that do not follow proper hygiene and sanitation. So let's talk about the sanitation and sterilization. You know, you're going to wash your hands before and after each client. We're going to use liquid antibacterial soap for at least 10 to 15 seconds. We're going to dry our hands thoroughly, and then you're going to put gloves on your hands. Now, the use of gloves ensures safety for you and your client, okay? But you only want to use non-latex gloves because people are having sensitivities to latex. So you want to make sure that you're using either vinyl or the non-peril gloves, and you want to make sure that they fit your hands properly. You want to have them almost like a second skin. You don't want to have any excess glove, having it be too big or too baggy on the hand at all, because that can create issues during the waxing service. Sanitation. Now you're going to hear me talk about double dipping from this point of the webinar all the way to the end, because it really is one of the most important things that we can do to stop the spread of bacteria and virus. The infection rate and susceptibility to disease at the time of waxing is much higher because the follicles are open. The dreaded double dip, really, it is 2017. Your clients know that you're not supposed to be double dipping. And if you do, it's a telltale sign of unsterile and potentially dangerous waxing environment. We never double dip. I know that some waxing products say that, oh, it's warm enough and it's okay. We have an antibacterial formulation. It is not okay. You should never, ever, ever double dip into the waxing pot. I will stress this over and over throughout the presentation because it really is the only way to successfully negate the transfer of bacteria and virus. So the wax pot is not killing bacteria. It's actually a fantastic breeding ground for bacteria because bacteria and viruses, they love a nice, warm, moist environment to duplicate in. The proper temperature to kill any bacteria or virus is 100 degrees Celsius or 212 degrees Fahrenheit. That is the boiling point. So you would have to reach that and then continue to boil the wax for 30 minutes to kill any bacteria or any virus that is in your jar or pot of wax. We know we can't spread wax on skin that is boiling, scalding hot. You would give your client 3rd and 4th degree burns wherever you would put it. Very dangerous to proceed with waxing after the temperature of the wax has hit that 212 degree Fahrenheit or 100 degrees Celsius. If you're using tweezers, make sure that you're sterilizing them in an autoclave before and after each service. If you don't have an autoclave available to you, you want to definitely wash them with an antibacterial soap and then place them in a jar with 70% isopropyl alcohol and submerge the tweezers for at least 20 minutes. All your disposables, your spatulas, placed in everything needs to go in the trash. But for getting ready for your waxing service, all of those disposables, your spatulas, your muslin strips, everything needs to be placed in a closed lid jar and kept near the waxing station. Your treatment room needs to be impeccably clean during waxing services. Make sure you always have fresh disposable sheets, disposable towels, paper for each client. You want to clean and dust the room each evening before going home. You want to remove all the wax residue from the floor, from the wax pot, from the trolley. Anywhere that wax is, you want to make sure that you get that wax removed from those areas. Your clients will be looking. Do yourself a favor and go into the room every so often and sit like a client. Either sit in the chair or lie down on the bed and see what your client sees. That's really the only way to know what the client is seeing and what the client is feeling. Make sure that you do that every couple of weeks, maybe once a week or so. Make sure that you do that so that you know everything is appropriately taken care of. Waxing consultation. The hair must be at least 1/8 of an inch long for effective removal, okay? It also, for your clients, you want to have them exfoliate the day before not the day of the waxing service. You don't want them to exfoliate the day of, because we're going to exfoliate that area for them in the ritual. Also, you need to educate your clients of the importance of keeping the waxing schedule and keeping on that schedule and not shaving in between, so that they can have the best results attainable. We also want to make sure that all clients are filling out a consultation form. The consultation form gives the client all of the questions, or it asks the client all of the questions that need to be asked for proper consultation. We need to know about medications. We need to know about any kind of issues they're having with the skin. We need to know what kind of allergies they have. And by them filling out the client or the waxing consultation chart and signing it, it acts as a release form as well. So it really protects you. And every time the client comes into the salon, even if it is a new, or I'm sorry, even if it is an existing client, we want to make sure that we go over these questions with them. They don't have to fill out a new card or a new consultation chart every time, but you do need to kind of go over the questions with them every time they come in. They can be adding a new medication or taking away an old medication. They could have developed an allergy to something in the interim. So you really want to just make sure that they are, you're asking all the right questions. Okay, now we're going to talk about medications that are contraindicated during the waxing procedures. Accutane. Accutane is an internal medication that is really the last stop on the acne fighting pipeline. Doctors, dermatologists, doctors, plastic surgeons, this really is a last result. Accutane is a medication that is prescribed internally in pill form for clients who have that cystic acne. Different gel. This is a gel that used to be a prescription only, and now it's over the counter, or what we call OTC, and that is very thinning to the surface of the skin as well. So any Metro gel, any kind of gel that is prescribed or over the counter, any kind of topical that is prescribed or over the counter for acne fighting issues, those are going to thin the skin, and you can't wax on top of that. Retin-A is another topical that we cannot wax over. The skin becomes very thin. The skin becomes very fragile. Retin-A, again, was a topical that was indicated at the beginning for fighting acne. And they found out as a side effect that it thins the skin, and it also helps to kind of diffuse fine lines and mean surface wrinkles because you're thinning the skin. So you can't wax over that either. Coumadin and warfarin, these are both blood thinners. And these blood thinners, you wax over the skin and you remove it against the grain, it's going to pull bruises to the surface of the skin because the blood is so thin. So Accutane, Coumadin, and warfarin are internal medications that you cannot wax over. Accutane, what the Accutane does is it shuts down the sebaceous system throughout the entire body. The Accutane can't target just the areas of concern. So if your client has cystic acne and they have cystic acne on their face, but the rest of the body is fine, the Accutane is not just going to work on the face. It's going to work systemically throughout the body. So you can't do any kind of body waxing or anything with Accutane, Coumadin, or warfarin. If your clients are using different gel, Metro gel, Retin-A, any of the topical medications that are indicated for acne, you can do a bikini wax. As long as they're not using that gel in that area, you can wax, okay? So it's just the internal medications that you can't wax any portion of the body. With Accutane, you want an 8-week, to be done with Accutane for 2 months or 8 weeks, okay, before you can wax any part of the body. Different gel, Retin-A, Coumadin, warfarin, that's more of a 4-week indicator. So they can stop with utilizing the topicals, and within 4 weeks, you can go ahead and start waxing in that area. Contraindications to waxing: the recent use of any AHA products or glycolic acids, right? Or any citric acid, lactic acid in high dose. Anything that is to kind of degrade the surface of the skin, you really can't wax over that. And that's going to be 2 weeks, okay, post treatment. So if you have a glycolic acid peel, or if you have any kind of lactic acid peels, any kind of peeling like that at all, 2 weeks, 14 days, 2 weeks, and then you can go ahead and wax that area. Any clients that are having any form of cancer treatment whatsoever, we can't wax that skin. That skin becomes very fragile with the use of the chemotherapies that are being introduced to the body. Herpes simplex 1 in active stages. So that's around the mouth, that can be in the nose, that can be in the bikini area. If it's an active stage, you can't wax it. Even if you're wearing gloves, you can't wax it. The integrity of the skin is compromised, and you'll pull that skin, so you can't do any waxing. Same thing for sunburned skin. The integrity of the skin is compromised, so you cannot wax over a sunburn. Open lesions, scabs, anything like that. Inflamed or irritated skin, any condition that leaves the skin inflamed, red, and irritated, you cannot wax over. So someone who's in a full-on rosacea breakout, you can't wax that skin, okay? Because the skin is already reddened and inflamed. Moles, skin tags, warts, those you have to go around. You cannot wax over the top of a mole. You cannot wax a skin tag. You could actually pull that mole or that skin tag off in the process of waxing. So if you are going to wax an area and it has a mole or a skin tag, just go around that mole or skin tag. Don't make sure that the wax doesn't touch that area. So we're going to introduce to you the Repêchage Seasmooth Artisan Seaweed Waxing Experience. It's infused, this wax is infused with select sea plants, delivering vitamins, minerals, trace elements, amino acids to the surface of the skin for unparalleled smoothness. It really is artfully crafted wax. It is perfect for depilation. It is a very rich and creamy formulation that provides precise application and adhesion to the hair. It attaches itself to the hair and not so much the skin. So when you're removing it, the contact with the skin is not painful at all. The sea plants that are utilized: Laminaria digitata and Ascophyllum nodosum seaweeds. They are both hydrating. They're both nourishing. They both lock moisture into the skin. Ascophyllum nodosum has antioxidant benefits as well. You have 42 trace elements, 12 vitamins, 18 amino acids present in the formulation by adding both of these sea plants. Glycerol hydrogenated rosin. This is really the most expensive rosin that can be used in waxing. It contributes to the adhesion of the wax itself to the hair. It's derived from a natural renewable source, which is pine trees. It also has excellent resistance to oxidation. It's resistant to discoloration caused by heat and aging, and it emits a very low odor, okay? Again, everything that we utilize here at Repêchage as far as key ingredients, our botanicals, our seaweeds, everything is sustainably harvested. We are doing no damage to the environment by harvesting and utilizing these fabulous botanicals. Safflower oil contains high levels of vitamin E, which helps to protect, nourish, and hydrate the skin while giving firming benefits at the same time. Aloe vera, it's well known. Everybody knows what aloe vera does. We use the gel that's inside the succulent's leaves for its anti-inflammatory, soothing, and healing property. You can use the aloe vera directly on a sunburn or any kind of burn that you have. Aloe is really going to rehydrate, cool, and calm that skin. Titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. The titanium dioxide is an inorganic oxide occurring in nature, and we added it to the formulation for its absorbent qualities. Zinc oxide is a soft white mineral used for its astringent properties. It also has healing and soothing and absorbent properties as well. the gold standard. It really is in your hands. Your clients will love it. They will notice the difference in your waxing procedure and how their skin feels after waxing. The Repêchage body brushes. These are boar and goat bristles that provide effective yet gentle exfoliation. We do utilize our body brushes in the waxing ritual, and we also have them available for you to make available to your clients. And then on a daily basis, they can be doing a nice dry exfoliation on their body. The Seasmooth Artisan Seaweed Wax comes in the tub that you see. It will fit into any wax warmer, but we do have a wax warmer that we manufacture that it fits perfectly into. Our muslin strips, Lydia Sarfati really did a lot of research. She hand-selected this very high thread count muslin that really provides maximum adhesion to the wax itself, and it allows for perfect hair removal. You can literally use 2 muslin strips to do a lower leg wax, 1 for each leg. The thread count in the muslin is so tight that the wax does not seep through, so it doesn't get sticky on the back side of it, right? It stays nice and supple, and you can utilize that muslin strip over and over and over again. This is the double wax warmer that we have for our soft wax. It contains 2 compartments with 2 separate thermostat controls, which allows you to be warming separate wax pots at different times. So you can have one that's ready, and you can keep one at a medium, so that when you're done with one, you can just really start with the next one and refill as well. So that way you're never running out of wax when you're doing your waxing appointments for your clients. Our Olea Europea hard wax. This hard wax, it's a European style hard wax, and it is in the very sanitary unidose pods. It really helps to properly depilate hair from areas such as the nose, the ears. The Brazilian bikini waxes are typically done with hard wax, not always, but typically. And this hard wax in the unidose pods, very, very sanitary for the client. It is enough to do the labial area of the Brazilian bikini wax. It's enough for your nose, your ears. Mr. Smith comes in and he wants his nose waxed every other week or once a week, depending on how quickly the hair grows. You can melt this pod. It melts very quickly, 10 to 15 minutes. You can reseal it. You can cover it again. So let's say Mr. Smith comes in, you open a new pod, you wax his nose, you can recover it, write his name, the date, put it away for him. The next time he comes in, he knows that that wax pod is his wax and it hasn't been used on anybody else. Very important when you're waxing in mucous membrane areas. So that's nose, that's ears, that is in the Brazilian or in the labial portion of your Brazilian bikini wax. So very important to have very sanitary unidose pods for those areas. And we do have a single professional wax warmer that heats the pods very quickly, very evenly. It's lightweight, it's portable, it's really perfect as far as your choice for the waxing room, or if you're waxing on a facial bar, or if you have staff that is waxing in the shampoo area. This is very small and very easily heated. So clients, you can do waxing right at the shampoo area with this as well. Post-waxing treatments. We're going to talk a little bit about the products that we're using after wax, and then we'll talk about the waxing ritual itself. The Skin Relief Soothing Gel. This gel works instantly to remove any type of irritation and also to hydrate the skin post-wax. It's a combination of green, red, and white teas along with aloe leaf and cucumber extracts that provide antioxidant soothing relief to damaged skin. Hyaluronic acid and deep sea thermophilus also help to rejuvenate the skin and restore any moisture loss. This is available also in retail. It's called our Deep Relief Tea Gel in the retail, and it's our Skin Relief Soothing Gel in professional size. What we recommend is that you take a few pumps of this, put it in a souffle cup, use one of the lids for the souffle cups and freeze them. And they turn into like little soothing gel ice cubes that you can utilize post-waxing. And we'll talk about that as we go through the waxing ritual itself. Key ingredients are aloe vera, laminaria digitata, ascophyllum nodosum. We have green and red tea extracts, and again, the hyaluronic acid, which is really there to bring moisture into the skin. It has the ability to hold 100 times its weight in water. It really helps to aid in wound healing and also in tissue repair. The Vita Cura Triple Action Nutri Oil. It has phytoactives that veil the skin in luxury. It's a blend of exotic oils to help replenish the skin's moisture barrier and provide deep conditioning. Beta carotene, vitamins A and E help to provide antioxidant protection. Linoleic and linoleic acids help to diminish the look of fine lines and mean surface wrinkles, giving a satin finish that is really, it is not greasy at all. I like to talk about Nutri Oil to the client as being a dry oil. And what I mean by that is when you apply it, it instantly absorbs into the skin and does not leave that greasy kind of slick, slippery feel at the surface of the skin. Clients don't like that so much. So the Vita Cura Nutri Oil is perfect for at-home use too, and it is packaged in retail sizing, and we'll go through that as well. It really is fantastic post-waxing after sun exposure. You can definitely use this to rehydrate after you swim. Anything that dries the skin, you can use the Nutri Oil to go ahead and refurbish the skin. And the key ingredients there are Mafura oil. This oil is extracted from the seeds of the Mafura tree. It is a perfect skin moisturizer, rich in essential fatty acids. It helps to soften the skin. It improves elasticity, and it has antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties. Carrot oil, beta carotene, helps to rebuild the skin's barrier. Olive fruit oil, really essential source of fatty acids, vitamins A and E, providing excellent antioxidant properties. Okay? It mimics natural human sebum, providing superior skin protection for the skin as well. Almond oil, it really provides essential fatty acid necessary for maintaining the skin's barrier. It also has high levels of vitamins E, B1, B2, and niacin. Calcium and iron are also nutrients that are necessary for healthy skin. Wheat germ, very strong anti-aging properties. Sunflower seed oil, has moisturizing properties, high in essential fatty acids and antioxidants. Jojoba oil, vitamin E, vanilla and rooibos essence. These are all key ingredients that help to protect the lipid barrier. It also helps the skin regenerate itself. It's soothing, and the rooibos and vanilla essence is valued for its soothing and regenerating properties as well. The Lamina Lift Mask is the perfect upgrade to any waxing service. It is part of our Artisan wax ritual. It has instant cooling and soothing sensations to the surface of the skin. Again, it's a great upgrade to any waxing service. It helps to hydrate and brighten the surface of the skin. And you can really put Lamina Lift in the refrigerator to enhance the coolness of the product. And when you do that, it really helps with inflammation at the surface of the skin, any kind of irritation. Anytime you put something cold on the skin constricts and creates a shrinking effect to the skin. So when you put this cold on the face, it's going to help depuff the face and take that puffiness and swelling out of the face. Laminaria digitata is the seaweed that we utilize in this mask. Again, 12 vitamins, 18 amino acids, 42 trace elements and minerals to give the skin everything that it needs for proper skin function. Orange water really helps to target age spots and blemishes. Aloe vera to calm and soothe. Licorice root extract helps to brighten the skin. It is from the plant glabridin, and it really inhibits pigmentation by preventing tyrosinase activity without cetotoxicity. So we're utilizing this to brighten the skin. Horse chestnut we utilize as an effective astringent and for its anti-inflammatory properties. The horse chestnut tree contains 90% eskin. Eskin is a mixture of things that really help to maintain blood circulation and to help strengthen the capillaries and veins. It helps to reduce cellulitis, and it also helps to reduce the appearance of spider veins. Right? Green and red teas, very calming, very soothing, lots of anti-inflammatory and free radical support. Chamomile oil reduces redness and soothes the skin. It also has anti-inflammatory properties. The calcium and calamine powder. This is a soothing and calming powder that you can either mix with yogurt or buttermilk. You can add it to your Hydra 4 mask. You can add it to your Seaweed mask. And what this calcium and calamine is going to do is calm and soothe the area that you apply it to. So this is a powder that you can mix in with any of our cream-based masks or our Seaweed mask, and it is really going to help sensitivity issues. Mineral Face Shield. Mineral Face Shield launched in the spring of 2015, and it has changed my life as a consumer. It really is perfect for all skin types. It is dermatologist tested. It's suitable for men. It's suitable for women. Even children can use this Mineral Face Shield. It is in a medical grade silicone base. It is waterless. It is oilless. It is in this silicone base that acts as a protectant from environmental aggressors or pollution, okay? And it also has it equals an SPF of 30. And we get there by utilizing zinc oxide. Zinc oxide is a physical barrier for UVA and UVB rays coming from the sun. It physically blocks those rays from hitting the skin. For me, as a Fitzpatrick 1, I'm a true 1. My natural hair is a kind of a dirty, dark blonde, light green eyes, white skin. Chemically based sunscreens really gave me a lot of issues on my skin. I would get hives, I would get rashes, I would start to itch, it would burn my skin. With the Mineral Face Shield, though, I am able to thoroughly protect my face, my décolleté, my throat, anywhere I put it without any negative side effects at all. Lydia's grandson, Asher, he is absolutely delightful, and for whatever reason, he has called Lydia, or he calls Lydia Lola. And he lives in Miami, and he will not go outside without his Lola cream. And the Mineral Face Shield is his Lola cream. So even the 5 or 6-year-old knows that he can't go out in the sun without his protection. We are working on being able to, in conjunction with the FDA, to be able to put the SPF on the packaging itself. We're almost there. And as soon as that happens through the FDA, we will definitely be tagging these products SPF 30. Okay, so you know you have the equivalence of a sun protectant at 30. Waxing is relaxing. This is what we talk about with our wax ritual, and creating a Repêchage wax experience is what it's all about. So when we start a little differently with the waxing ritual. We start the client out on their stomach, okay? And we do the back of the body if we're doing a full leg, if we're doing a back wax. Obviously, for a gentleman, we're going to start them on their stomach. But what we like to do is where they're lying, they're looking at the floor, okay? So if we put something beautiful for them to look at, a beautiful bowl filled with flowers, maybe some aromatherapy. We have the calming and purifying essential oil blend, which is ylang ylang, tangerine, and lavender. So we have that, and they can have aromatherapy at the same time that they're looking at something beautiful, and it just sets the tone for the artisan waxing ritual. You're going to start by sanitizing the skin, and how we do that is we're spraying the legs with either alcohol or witch hazel to remove any natural oils. We're following that by dry brushing the skin to gently lift the hair and remove any dead flaking skin from the surface. You can sanitize your brushes again by washing them with soap and water and into a sterilizer for 20 minutes. If you don't have the sterilizer, completely saturate the boar bristles with 70% isopropyl alcohol and allow that to dry. You're going to dip a clean spatula into the wax and apply it in one long, smooth movement to the leg. Again, we are never going to double dip, okay? Double dipping is the best way to spread virus and bacteria to every single client that you wax out of that pot. So no double dipping. You're going to dispose of the spatula as soon as you're done applying it to the skin. You're not going to take that spatula and set it on the rim of the wax pot. You're not going to do that. It's going to go straight to the trash because we don't double dip. If you put that spatula back on the wax pot, any bacteria or virus on that spatula is going to get on that pot and work its way into the wax. You're going to get real tired of me saying no double dipping, but no double dipping. Okay, Seasmooth Artisan Ritual is going to continue by placing the natural muslin strip on the wax and applying a very gentle pressure. You're going to remove that wax in the opposite direction of the hair growth with one quick movement. We're not going to lift the strip away from the area of waxing. We're going to keep it parallel and as close to the skin as we possibly can. And that will negate bruising issues or breaking the hair instead of pulling it out by the root, okay? So it's very important to really keep your hand as parallel and as close to the body part that you're waxing as you possibly can. After you're done waxing that area, you are going to apply the frozen skin relief soothing gel. And you can see in the circle picture here, that's what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about a souffle cup, is one of those disposable souffle cups. They have lids, so they can be sanitary. You can pop them in the freezer, and then you have these frozen soothing gel cubes or circles that you can utilize on the skin. And remember, if it's frozen or if it's cold, as soon as that hits the skin, you're going to get a constriction. So it's going to help alleviate any swelling or redness at the surface of the skin. So you're going to use that. Once you've applied that, you're going to lock that moisture in with an application of the Vita Cura Nutri Oil. You're going to massage this into the skin right over top of the soothing gel. And this blend of exotic oils really helps to replenish the skin's moisture barrier and provide deep conditioning benefits for the surface of the skin. The Seasmooth Artisan Ritual continues by placing a warm, not a hot, but a warm towel to the area that you have just waxed, and you're going to calm and soothe the skin. Once you remove any excess with the warm towel, you're going to assist your client in turning over. And that's when we're going to apply the Repêchage Lamina Lift Mask to the face. If you have a client, as you can see in the photo, we did cut flaps into the mask itself. So if you do have a client with mascara, eyeliner that they're concerned will move, anything that's wet can make that move if it's not waterproof. So we have the flaps, and you just put the flaps down. It's not going to remove their face makeup. It's not going to do any damage. So you can apply this right over top of makeup. You would just leave the flaps down at that point. And this is very soothing, very refreshing mask for all skin types, all skin conditions. Anybody can use the Lamina Lift Mask. It's not type specific for any particular skin condition. Again, keeping them in the refrigerator keeps them very cold. And when you put something cold on the skin, you get constriction. So it helps with depuffing at the surface of the skin as well. I'm going to restart this because the audio
waxing done, and you can actually pull it.
Okay. Now, if you're going to dress like a star, you got to look like one. Anti-aging secrets from head to toe.
Can you imagine having waxing done and you can actually fall asleep?
Well, imagine no more. At Eva Scrivo Salon, Repêchage founder Lydia Sarfati has found a new breakthrough in waxing. Seaweed.
There's a very rich seaweed in vitamins, minerals. There's really, truly a miracle ingredient.
Prep by dry brushing the skin to remove dead skin cells. Next, apply the creamy wax to the back of the legs and remove. Then apply the Lamina Lift Mask to the face while the front of the leg is waxed. Once waxed, apply a cool soothing gel infused with seaweed. And finally, massage Vita Cura Nutri Oil into the skin for deep conditioning.
It is layer upon layer of pure bliss.
Now onto the 4-layer facial. Layer 1, Sea Serum Seaweed Filtrate. Layer 2, facial massage with seaweed infused cream layer. 3, cooling and soothing seaweed mask. And layer 4, a warming mineral mask.
We unlayer all the layers, you remain with just gorgeous, healthy glow.
A true seaweed spa experience.
We were thrilled to have that spot on Extra. It really did kind of show you, though, what I was just talking to you about regarding the wax ritual. So you got to, obviously it was sped up a bit, but you got to see each step. And what I really wanted to bring to your attention is that you really couldn't even tell that Lydia had gloves on. They fit her hands precisely. It was only up around the wrist that you could see that she even had gloves on. So that's how precisely your gloves need to fit you when you're doing waxing services. So you're going to repeat the method once you have them flipped over. You're going to apply the lamina lift. You're going to repeat the same method on the front of the legs by spraying with alcohol, using the dry brushes, applying the wax, removing it with the natural muslin strips, and you're going to repeat this process until all of the hair is gone. Again, you're going to apply the frozen skin relief soothing gel, and you're going to massage that in. You're going to, right on top of the soothing gel, apply the Vitacura Nutri Oil, and you're going to massage that in as well. Placing a warm, not hot, but warm towel over the legs to remove any excess. You're going to remove the lamina lift mask from the face, remove the warm towels from the legs. You're going to assist the client in sitting up. Remember, they've been lying down for minutes now, a few minutes, and you want to make sure that they're steady, so you're going to assist them in sitting up, offer them some water, and then it is the time to really recommend what they can use for at-home care to keep the healthy, silky, smooth skin that they're leaving the salon with. We're going to talk about facial waxing. You're going to use OptiCleanse to remove any eye makeup around the eye. If you're doing lip wax, you're going to use the herbal astringent to remove any excess oils, any makeup that is on the upper lip as well. You're going to pat that area dry with a tissue, and utilizing either Olea Europaea hard wax or the Seasmooth Artisan seaweed wax, you're going to go ahead and start waxing. For your brows, if you're using the soft wax, you're going to apply a thin layer of the soft wax with the direction of hair growth. Utilizing the Repêchage natural muslin strip, you're going to remove the hair in the opposite direction of the growth. Remember to keep close to the surface of the skin. We do not want to pull up, and you want to make sure that you're holding that area of the brow very taut so that you're not getting any kind of bruising in that area. Okay, very important when you're working on the face. You're going to dip a clean spatula into the wax. We're not going to double dip, right? We've talked about that. So utilizing the Olea Europaea hard wax, you're going to dip a clean spatula into the wax, applying that in the direction of the hair growth. You're going to let that cool for 10 to 15 seconds. You're going to catch the edge of that. Again, keeping that area very nice and taut. You're going to remove in the opposite direction of the hair growth, and you're going to remove it as close to the skin as you can. We're not going to pull up, we're going to go parallel. Any hairs that are left, any stray hairs that are left, you're going to have to tweeze away. We do not advocate for double dipping, and we do not advocate for double waxing. One waxing procedure per area per day. You cannot double down and wax an area that has just been waxed because there are a few hairs. Take the time, take the tweezer, remove the stray hair. After your facial waxing on the brow, you're again going to apply the frozen skin relief soothing gel and pat that dry with the tissue. And you're either going to use the Hydromatic Mattifying Moisturizer for more oily skinned clients, or the Vitacura Nutri Oil for more dry skinned clients. The mattifying moisturizer has zinc oxide in it, and it's going to give the client some sun protection as well. Just say, the new Repêchage French bikini wax. We're going to talk in depth about bikini waxing and about what we can do to keep that area nice and smooth, really kind of working against inflammation. This treatment that we're going to introduce to you is really going to negate inflammation, and it's also going to negate any redness or irritation in the bikini area. So what we're going to do is the Repêchage French bikini wax. We actually call this a vajacial, okay? This is soothing and cooling, very hydrating for that skin. It helps to prevent inflammation and redness, helps to prevent ingrown hairs, and it also helps to prevent any kind of irritation, and it's going to promote firming around the vaginal region. The French bikini wax is a better bikini waxing experience for your client. You're going to go ahead and do all of the steps of your bikini wax. Now, this can be a Brazilian. It doesn't have to be. This can go over if you leave a small area of hair in the bikini region. You can definitely still do this treatment if there's hair present. You can definitely utilize the same process of this bikini wax or the protocols. So after you're done waxing, you're going to apply the frozen skin relief soothing gel on the areas that you wax to help to soothe, cool, and prevent any increased inflammation. And again, we're using the souffle cups and freezing that skin relief soothing gel. After you apply the soothing gel, you're going to mix seaweed powder 3A and seaweed gel 3B in a rubber bowl, and you're going to apply that to the area. You're going to start at the top of the pubic area or at the pubic bone, and then work into the inner thighs and down over the labia. Leave this mask on for 10 to 15 minutes. While the mask is on, you can offer the client a hand massage, either using our C-Spa hand cream or our triple action Nutri-Cream. You can upgrade the French bikini wax with the use of the Lamina Lift mask. That's always a fantastic combination as well. You're going to peel this mask off just like you do when it's on the face. You're going to loosen the edges of the mask with fingers, and you're gently going to peel it off. You're going to remove any excess residue with damp cotton squares. Okay? And once you do that, you can finish or complete the treatment by utilizing the VitaCura Nutri Oil. You can send them home with the VitaCura Triple Action Nutri-Cream, which has a bit of glycolic acid to help with cell desquamation so that the hairs don't get trapped and create ingrown hair issues. You can keep the area nicely hydrated with our Seaweed body cream as well. So now we're going to talk more about male grooming, or what we consider manscaping. Your male clientele, really, they are really concerned with their grooming these days. It doesn't have to be just the millennials. Gentlemen my age are getting waxing done on the face. They're getting waxing in the ears, up the nose, their chest, their backs. They're very conscientious about their waxing appointments. They rarely cancel. They're very, very loyal clients. I used to tease my male clientele. I had a pretty strong split when I was still behind the chair working as an esthetician. I had a 60-40 split. 40% of my clients were gentlemen, and they were facials, they were waxing, they were body treatments. The gentlemen that get it, right? They totally understand, and they want to present their best foot forward just like we do. And that really denotes them doing their manscaping or taking care of their male grooming. So these are waxing services that can be offered for men. We could do the chest, the back, the arms, underarms, legs, nose, eyebrows, ears, anywhere and everywhere in between. Okay? If there's hair, we can wax it just like we do for our female clients. So we're going to talk about body waxing first. This is a obviously very sped up representation of a back wax. Natalie is applying the wax in the direction of the hair growth and removing it against the grain, section by section, all the way through until it's done, and then utilizing the frozen skin relief soothing gel all over that area. And if you notice, Mammy's back, there's no redness there. I mean, it's amazing. And he had quite a lot of hair in that area. So for him to not suffer and not have any residual swelling or redness, it's an amazing, amazing selling point with our wax. So now we're moving on, and you're seeing how we like to do the waxing around the brow. You can either use your hard wax or your soft wax, following it with the skin relief gel, and then into the ears, into the nose to remove that type of hair as well. You're going to need to use your hard wax for that. So you would dip the spatula, very small spatula, into that wax and place it in the nose. We'll get there. Okay, so sanitize the skin, removing all the natural oils by spraying the back with alcohol. We're going to follow the same Artisan rituals for our gentlemen that we did for our ladies, followed by dry brushing to gently lift the hair and remove any dead, flaky skin. You're going to dip a clean spatula because why? We don't double dip, okay? So we're going to dip a clean spatula into the wax and apply it to the back in long, smooth strokes with the direction of the hair growth. You're going to use the Repêchage natural muslin strip. You're going to apply a very gentle pressure, and you're going to remove that strip parallel to the skin in the opposite direction of the hair growth with quick movement. Applying the frozen skin relief gel, massage that gently into the skin. It works to instantly cool and hydrate. You're going to follow that again with the VitaCure Nutri Oil right on top of the soothing gel. Those oils help to replenish the skin's moisture barrier and provide deep conditioning benefits. Obviously, we're going to use a warm, not a hot towel on the back, and you're going to massage thoroughly, and then we're going to lightly pat the back dry. Moving on to facial waxing the brows. You can use the soft wax, you can use the hard wax. That's totally up to you as the technician, but you're going to apply in a thin layer the soft wax, place the muslin strip over top of that, again, removing the hair in the opposite direction of the growth, parallel to the skin and as close to the skin as you can. We're not going to lift up. You're going to apply the frozen skin relief soothing gel to that area as well. Nose waxing. We are definitely going to be utilizing a very small spatula. One time, we are not going to double dip. We're going into mucous membrane now. So this wax is our hard wax. You're going to dip. You're going to get a small ball of wax at the very end of your spatula. You're going to place that inside the nose, and you can either, with a very light pressure, make sure that that's adhering to the upper nose to make sure you get that hair that's there, or you can apply slight pressure on the side of the nose to kind of close the nostril onto the wax so that the hair really adheres into the wax. You're going to wait about 10-15 seconds, and what you're going to do is apply slight pressure to the nose while you're pulling the stick straight down to pull those hairs out of the nose. Now, I know it sounds terrible, but it really is almost painless. I thought the nose was going to be bad too, honestly, but really it's not bad at all. It's kind of like before you get your first Brazilian, you just think it's going to be the worst thing ever, and then you get one and you're like, that wasn't so bad, right? Same thing with the nose. Really not an issue to wax the inside of the nose. So ears, we're going to go through the same process. You're going to get a small ball of wax on the end of a brand new spatula because we don't double dip, and you're going to place that into the ear, adhering it to the areas where the hair is. Let that dry 10 to 15 seconds, and you're going to let that cool down, and you're going to gently tug to remove the wax and the hair all at once. This is your opportunity for retail sales. Every single appointment that you have in your salon, from waxing to massage to hair services to nail services, there's always the opportunity to send the client home with product, okay? So for body waxing, we're going to recommend body products. That's pretty simple. The VitaCure Nutri Oil comes in a retail size. The Deep Relief Tea Gel comes in a retail size. For facial waxing, if you're doing brows, if you're doing upper lip, you can take the time and provide that client with a complimentary skin analysis, really recommending the appropriate at-home facial care for them as well. Listen, here's the thing. Our clients are coming to us for guidance. They see us as their go-to for everything in the beauty realm, and you're really doing yourself and your client a huge disservice by not recommending appropriate product for them to be utilizing at home. It really is part of what we do. It's part of being a professional. So important to be able to properly recommend at-home care for your clients, regardless of what service that they've had done in the salon. So we're going to go over the recommended home care now. For body exfoliation, we're going to talk about the Sea Spa Glow. It's a natural exfoliator utilizing Dead Sea salts triple mint and olive oil. It helps to remove dull, dry, accumulated dead skin cells, leaves the skin feeling energized and refreshed. So if they are going to do a body scrub before any waxing service, day before. We covered it briefly earlier in the presentation, but they need to exfoliate day before because we're going to exfoliate with the dry brushing when they come in for their appointment. The Seaweed Body Cream. This is an all-over body moisturizer that really is rich in vitamin C, ginkgo biloba, minerals, protein-rich seaweeds that really help to hold the moisture in the skin. It helps to tone and nourish the skin. Key ingredients, we have 3 seaweeds here. We have Laminaria digitata, Ascophyllum nodosum, and Fucus vesticulosus. The blend of those 3 seaweeds really keep hydration in the skin. It's a fantastic all-over body cream. We've talked about the Nutri Oil time and time again. It can be used after waxing, after your shower, after your bath. This is what I like to call a dry oil. Again, it does not leave your skin slick or slimy or greasy feeling at all. It's applied, it absorbs instantly into the skin and really helps to lock moisture into the skin. Great for after swimming, whether you're in salt water or chlorine water, it still dries the skin. So perfect after that. It will help to prevent stretch marks in expecting women. So if you have clients that are expecting, they really need to start with the Nutri Oil as soon as they know that they're expecting, and they need to use this Nutri Oil morning and night, and maybe in the afternoon, depending on how dry their skin is. The more hydrated the skin is, the less likely it is to tear and create a stretch mark. So if you're continually hydrating the skin has natural elastic properties, right? So if you keep that elasticity and you keep that skin nice and hydrated and keep it nice and supple, you're going to do your best to not get the stretch marks in the first place. I mean, once you have a stretch mark, it's yours, right? But if we can prevent them from coming, and that's what we can do with the Nutri Oil, that will really help that client who is expecting. They're going to target this in their area of concern. So typically with expecting women, that's thighs, hips, back, belly, breasts, anywhere that the skin is really stretching to accommodate the baby, you're going to have this Nutri Oil in place. Now we do have it in this 6-ounce at-home care, but if you have a client that is expecting, don't be afraid to sell them the professional size. Obviously, you're going to double the price and sell it just like you do your retail sizes, but for expecting women, they're going to be using a lot of this Nutri Oil. So you might want to talk to them about getting it in the larger size. Beta carotene, Mafura butter, olive fruit oil, these are all of the key ingredients that are in the Triple Action Nutri Oil from VitaCura. We also have our Triple Action Nutri Cream. This really enriches the skin. This is what I call our version of a body butter, okay? Very thick, very emollient rich, natural fruit oils from the curate tree, Mafura, and coconut trees help to restore skin's moisture barrier. You have rooibos and vanilla to help indulge the senses. Laminaria digitata is the seaweed that is present in this cream. We also have about 2% glycolic acid. And what that's going to do is help with cell regeneration or cell turnover, okay? So it's going to help shed dead, dry skin at the same time that it's hydrating and giving all of this rich coconut oil and Mafura oil and shea butter into the skin to restore the moisture barrier. The Triple Action Body Souffle is a very light whipped formula that helps to improve skin tone and elasticity. You can use this every day after your shower or your bath, or you can use it in the morning or at night. You can't overuse these body products. Keeping your body very hydrated is going to keep the skin looking as smooth as it can possibly look. Again, Laminaria digitata, Mafura butter, aloe leaf juice, coconut oil are key ingredients. These are our sources from our Encyclopedia of Hair. We also have the Milady's Hair Removal Techniques and our Repêchage, the book, Skincare. What we have available for you also for participating in this webinar today, we have a bit of a deal, 10% off of any wax or wax-related products that we talked about today on the webinar. So please feel free to contact your account representative. If you don't already have one, please give us a call at 800-248-SKIN. That's 800-248-7546, and they will put you in touch with one of our account representatives that can help you with your order. So again, thank you so much for participating in today's webinar. I appreciate the time that you took to spend with us today to learn all about our Artisan Seaweed Wax and the Artisan Seaweed Wax Ritual. My next webinar is going to be on September 18th and at 3 o'clock, again, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what we're going to be covering there is our brand new peptide sheet mask. We did a bit of a soft launch, what we call a sneak peek at the peptide mask during our 19th annual International Congress that we had at the beginning of May this year, and we are launching in the peptide mask in September. So I will be talking all about the peptide mask, what its benefits are, what the key ingredients are. So I'm really hoping that you can join me for that. And again, thank you so much for your time, and I'm hoping to hear from you. If you need to contact me, if you have any questions whatsoever after the webinar is over and you think, oh, I have this question, please feel free to contact me at Delanie@Repêchage. That's all lowercase, D as in David, E-L-A-N-I-E @repechage.com. And I will do my best to answer every single one of your questions. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great afternoon.